Hey, what's up, everybody? We got a special episode for you this week. So what's happening here today is a special video brought to us by Brandon. Brandon, tell us a little bit about what's going on here.
Yeah, this past weekend, myself and my wife and my sister and brother-in-law went to my mom's house and we cleaned out her attic. And I knew I had a lot of stuff in there that was stuff that I hadn't seen in almost 20 years. So I thought this would be a cool opportunity to kind of go through and see what were some of the things I collected from really, I guess probably starting, I was born in the 80s, so some of this stuff's probably from then until most of it's probably going to stop around 95, 96, but there'll be some stuff that's more recent as well.
And this might be a multi-part video. There is a lot of stuff back here. We're going to just be going through it kind of impromptu and talking about the items and also maybe discussing some of the value of some of the items, because honestly there could be some hidden gems in here.
But most likely it'll be a disappointment. Yeah. A lot of things we were told when we were kids were going to be worth a lot, and then you find out
these, they'll be worth something.
Put these baseball cards in the lockbox because
no one else collected baseball cards.
Yeah, no one's into these.
So there's games, there's comic books, there's
figures,
there's
VHS
cards,
tapes,
stuffed animals. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. So we're just going to look at all of it. Maybe it's something interesting. Maybe it's something some of our viewers would remember from their own attics. And we'll talk about...
That's a sex toy.
What are some of the things you wish you still had from this time? You know, and we'll just kind of go over some of the stuff we had as kids. But I guess we'll go ahead and get started.
All right. Yeah. Cool. So first thing I see here is
Secret Wars
number 8 of Secret Wars, which is crazy because I have that issue too, and a standalone. I don't have the whole series.
And this is actually one where he gets the black
first symbiote appearance.
Yes,
that's right.
The first one.
So there's some Superman stuff. This one I thought was really cool. It's like a foil cover for What If Hulk Had Killed Wolverine. That's really cool. I was a huge Wolverine fan as a kid.
You know, back in the day...
pages on that one might be sticky.
Yeah, they might be. You know, we talked about this earlier. It was like, during this time, like it was like comic books, cards, all this collectible stuff. They were really pushing this collectible angle. And like, I have so many that are like foil covers.
Yeah.
Number 1 of Silver Sable. They launched
Restart series.
Yes, they launched so many comic books at this time. So there's a lot of these in there, like these foil covers. You know, they're probably.
I think 90s comics are worth nothing.
You're right. They were selling them. I remember you could buy comics at Walgreens. I remember buying most of my comics at Walgreens. It's like, you can't find comics anymore.
No, you got to go to a specialty shop. The Death of a Hero. It's like he got shot.
That's something.
The first ever Force Beam whole comic. This issue is not to be missed. There's a hole in it.
Super Nintendo out of the back.
Oh, of course. Dang!
Iron Man's.
Whoa! Iron Man and War Machine there.
Still in the bag. A Fantastic Four.
Whoa! Unopened.
Here's an older one. That's the 62.
He's got a cool mask.
I don't know what they.
I have this one too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Y'all were gay together in the 90s.
Number 206, Fantastic Four. It was one of the early Fantastic. Not early, number 206, but for me,
Ghost
Rider.
I
had a casual interest in comics growing up, but I guess their commitment was bigger than mine.
Mine wasn't necessarily big, but if I found old ones, now these were great.
X-Men.
These were some of the late 80s, but this was early 90s. There's a Marvel Masterpiece edition. This one especially is the X-Men number 1. This comic sold more than any other comic book ever. I think still to this date. It's the Jim Lee, Chris Claremont X-Men number 1, where they split off from Uncanny X-Men. This is a great comic. I've got this version. I've got all the variant covers and the foil cover for that one that actually Dustin gave me. He had collected all of them. He's a huge Jim Lee fan, and so am I. So there's number 1 for that. Cool Punisher,
Silver Surfer, that white cover.
White cover for Fantastic Four. What do we got here?
Yes.
Oh, this is Hulk. That is awesome.
Remember the Death of
Death
Superman?
of Superman was
That
huge.
was big.
It was huge.
This was like the lead up and all of them
Yes.
together in one book. And
Yeah.
this was the sealed.
So you still got
That-
which you would be like, oh, it's still sealed. Like so many
Like
people
anybody.
kept a sealed
Yeah,
one.
they're
Like,
all-
you know, but it's still cool to see it because it's just nostalgic. I remember seeing these bags, you know, collector's set.
Iron Man manuals.
Now, tell me this something. Like, were you a Fantastic Four fan?
I was a fan of Invisible Woman.
I was a fan of the Fantastic Four, and am not a fan now.
No.
I don't really
The
like
movies
them.
have done such a disservice.
That's true.
So
Yeah,
it's-
the
Dang,
X
good
Factor
Thanos cover
comics.
there.
yeah, that is cool.
Are there any X Factors in there?
Silver.
I never had any
Remember
X-Factor.
that? There was some dark.
Adam, why don't you
X
take
Factor.
Take
It was
a-
another
Was,
X
was
comic.
Bishop part of X Factor?
I believe so.
Chris Starr.
And
was
was the guys on Cable?
Cable, yeah.
Yeah, so they were alright.
Chris Starr was, I think Danzig actually took his logo and font from the Chris Starr episode number 1, I think maybe.
So right here we've got some posters.
Are those posters?
Yeah, these are posters.
Got a
So
holiday special. I'm sure that's a
let's see what we got here. Some posters. Oh,
good Christmas
Adam,
treats.
you will enjoy this.
Now I do.
Adam's a huge Batman
Yeah.
fan.
Now I'm not a big comic fan, but I do like Batman.
That is a cool poster right there. Let's see what else we got. Another poster here.
Oh, you couldn't find '90s collections without a hologram cover.
Oh, nice. Spider-Man and Spider-Man was it $20.99?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a cool one.
I got a bunch of just random.
There's so many just
comments.
first issue, another hologram Spider-Man.
Here's a book that's not a comic. This is a Star Trek, The Next Generation technical journal.
Damn, you had all the holograms. in this.
So I'm gonna have to take a look at this. This looks awesome. Like I said last time, I'm really into that TNG right now. Dang, Indiana Jones.
This one was a small CFW. I'm not sure who does that. Shred Comics. That's kind of hardcore looking.
Skaters.
That was one of the first comic books I actually ever got.
There you go, Adam.
There you go, X Factor. I don't remember.
Oh,
What is that?
nice. Doctor Strange.
X Factor.
Curse of Kill. That's cool. Whoa. Is this old or just a reprint?
That's a reprint. I think
Preview
the
for
original
Universal
was
Soldier
probably-
movie.
Here's an opened Death
Good
of
one.
Superman.
More old.
Right.
The
Fantastic
90s
Four.
was full of Ghost Rider and Punisher. I mean,
Yeah.
those were great stuff. I mean, they were gritty and. Whoa, what's that?
What's this have to do with?
I think that's the original.
Beat-ups or-
Original. That's the actual regular issue of the Death of Superman. I think.
Okay.
These are just like Silver Age comics, like the reprints. I had a lot of reprints.
There's Bishop 282 for X-Men.
Avengers. Oh, there's
X-Men
one with Cable right
Classic.
up front.
Yeah.
Dark
Cable,
Phoenix.
probably number 1. Cable number 1.
Yeah.
Great cover here. Venom, Spider-Man, and Ghost Rider.
Now, is it pretty common that if anything says collector's item on it, it's
Yeah.
not going to be
It's not
collector's?
Yeah, it's not worth anything.
More for
Just
covers.
fooling all the poor kids in the '90s.
War Machine.
Superman.
Punisher War Journal was a very popular
You
series.
group these together, the sweet holograms.
Warlock. Another X Factor. Actually, X Factor.
I just remember the 2099
Yes.
variants of everything. They had like the
There's a
Hulk
bunch of those.
2099,
Sleep
Spider-Man.
Yeah, that one's cool.
So I mean, there's so
Punisher
many
many.
holiday specials.
Oh, got another hologram.
Clive Barker, Ecto Kid.
Check out Gambit.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah, Dustin has that one. Supreme. Oh yeah, this one, number 300 of the Uncanny X-Men foil cover. Infinity War. That's coming up. That's what we're going to be doing in the new Avengers movies. Ghost Rider fighting a snake. This stuff is just so awesome. Just seeing, because if these were older comics, it would be cool too. But seeing them from when we were kids
Right.
is nostalgic because you don't see a ton of
I'm
them.
sure the collectability down. I'm sure there's people
That
on
is
here
sick.
that are going to watch this, and if there's anything valuable, they'll recognize it immediately. I'm sure there's not, but it'd be helpful to have some people with a better eye than us
Yeah, I mean,
to scope out some stuff.
basically my old
Oh,
Street Fighter.
I remember
Look
I had a
at
couple of Street
this.
Fighters.
Hold that for a second. Oh yeah.
That one was. This looks real
If
shit.
you press a button on the back.
Wait, the back had a Mortal Kombat thing. Hold the back up. Yeah.
Yeah, ad for more.
Prepare
Kombat.
yourself.
Yeah, my kind of what I'm going on as far as value is just that anything produced in that time period is just not worth anything because everybody collected it. But maybe some of it is, we're not comic collectors, but
which I talked about this early at dinner tonight. Seeing this stuff, I know I've got to have.
There you go.
Oh yeah. I know I've got more comics somewhere because I had a early '60s Weird Stories or something like that, and it's not here. And that was my oldest comic book, but I don't know. It's just one of those things. I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it got thrown away in the cleanup.
Oh, Star Trek.
Yeah.
I really hope that you've run across a couple that are valuable, just so the people out there are yelling that we're not wearing gloves
Right.
and there's something they're super valuable. Like,
You had that in an attic for 20 years,
yeah.
you idiot. It's the pages are dried out.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many comics.
There's a lot of comics
So
here,
many.
and it's just great to see all these. And Brandon was talking about definitely wanting to keep. I think these more than anything because of the nostalgia.
Well, let's transition from that and go into the Marvel cards then.
Okay, perfect.
That's at 2x speed.
This is so awesome, though. So
we just finished some of the comic books, and now we've got another collectible, which were cards. And
it's a big part of the '90s. I wasn't big into card collecting. I think you did get some baseball cards every now and then growing up, and here's some turtle cards, which I did have some of those. The ones that I like a lot that you have are the Marvel ones, or the comic cards in general. So this is a Marvel masterpiece. I guess you were saying that you think it's a complete set.
it is. I have all the full cards for that as well.
So the Marvel cards were really popular. Here's the Marvel Series 3 Universe Collector's 10. In there you just got loads of cards, probably a whole set there as well. Then there's a box of DC Cosmic cards here. Ton of cards in here. Just almost overflowing. Marvel Universe Series 3, which I guess goes with that 10. And then Marvel Universe, doesn't even have a series on that one. This one was cool, I thought. Star Trek The Next Generation Collector Cards, Inaugural Edition. So just like this. I mean, who needs this? These were so the 90s was overrun with this collector mentality, and I was definitely caught up in it, but I was never a big card collector because it seemed daunting to me and kind of expensive, and everybody was kind of doing it. So I think even at that time people were saying that stuff's not going to be worth anything,
Yeah, it's like in the 80s, the cards from the 50s and the Barbies from the 50s and all that collectible G.I. Joes, those were worth a lot of money even in the 80s, and they're worth a ton of money today, but nothing from the 80s is really worth anything.
Not really. I mean, some of the Star Wars stuff, but it's not worth much.
Yeah, it's not much.
Here we have a Qzar hat.
I don't know if anybody
Laser tag.
That was
That was the first laser tag place I went to.
And it's not with this stuff, but I have hundreds of my old scorecards from Qzar where they print out your scorecard at the end, you get Iceman,
Really?
Top Gun. I had so many Top Guns.
What would you call yourself? Did you have a code name?
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
That was Top Gun.
I was always Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero. Another thing that I've got a lot of are apparently autographed cards that I autographed myself. So, we would just had all these extra cards that weren't worth anything, even them were worth pennies. We would just autograph them and try to, sell them.
You could fool some dumb kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah, fool some kids we thought were stupid. I've got I don't know what were these? Do you remember these?
Jonathan, you can jump in on these.
What you got?
They're not like Pogs, but they were like caps or something.
I forgot about fucking pods.
Oh, hogs. Yeah, this isn't, but
This is like some kind of.
What was the thing you dropped called?
the slammer.
Slammer.
You gotta have the slammer.
I don't even know if they're baseball slammers. I don't know what those were.
I don't know what these are. This is just some dumb marketing ploy right here. It's it's not a card. It's just another thing to sell you and to try to get you to collect it. Yeah, unfortunately, there were brands of cards like anything else that were worth a lot more than others. And unfortunately, these are a lot of score Donruss and Tops, which were like totally rampant. You know, you wanted Flair. Flair was the big,
I don't know if
the
you guys
collectible brand.
talked about this pack during the break, but this is a pack of interesting cards here, and we'll just go through the content. We have Invisible Woman, Crystal, Goddess, I don't know that character, Nemortia,
These are all the girl cards.
Firestar, Silver Sable, She-Hulk, Rogue, and Phoenix.
The hot cards.
Why would I have all those cards together? That's
Huh, I wonder.
Huh.
Weird.
What? Okay.
Maybe the
So
cultural
anyway.
movies.
Now, another big thing in the 90s, and this game started in the 90s, was Magic the Gathering. And I still play this. Like, I started collecting Magic cards when I was a kid. A friend got me into it, but we didn't really understand the rules. They were too complicated for us. So we kind of pretended that we knew what we were doing, and I could never get anybody to focus long enough to try to learn with me. So my stuff just stayed in the closet for a long time, and recently I picked it back up when they put it on PlayStation Network. Then it kind of taught me the mechanics of the game. I started playing the actual card game again, and we're all around the same age, and everybody started getting into it. The game started in 93, 95, the sets, you know, they were just figuring out the rules and everything, so early on the cards were way overpowered. They're worth a lot of money. The Holy Grail is the Black Lotus card. Somebody pulled one the other day from a sealed starter deck. We saw YouTube videos worth $27,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
$27,000.
yeah, but like, so Brandon says, "Oh, I got some Magic cards over here," and you get excited, but then inevitably you see that it's all from Ice Age and Alliances and Homelands, and I mean the best stuff in here is like a Royal Assassin or a Winter Orb. Nothing big, but it's always cool to see nonetheless.
It's a disappointing nature of most collectibles is most of the stuff that you have is not worth anything.
Yeah, and everybody got into this in Ice Age.
Anything you got to collect is never worth anything.
Right. It's always the stuff you didn't think about. You don't know
The
anything
stuff
about.
you didn't think about, you know.
Because no
and-
one else was collecting it.
Well,
Right.
like my Captain Kirk from the Franklin Mint. And I have another piece that goes with that. I don't know.
But his
I have a
boots look immaculate. Look at those boots.
I have.
That guy was not being dragged through the
Yeah, you're
dirt.
gonna
I
walk
have the
in.
same shoes as old Kurt.
Yeah.
Whoa! I have to have
A
that.
plate from the Franklin Mint.
Same.
I have to
No, this
have
is
that
the
and hang that at work.
This is the Hamilton collection.
The
That's
Hamilton collective.
It was limited.
amazing.
You get that off QVC. Jamal,
They only
whatever.
fired this plate for 14 days. It is number 34K, which that could be 34,000. So,
That's awesome, though.
yeah. All this is inlaid with gold. And I think my parents probably paid like $70 for this.
I have to see it close up.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if it's
Beautiful.
Oh, here's the thing.
It's a true masterpiece.
It's beautiful.
What is that? That's yours too, right?
This was my sister's.
No, that was yours. Your Barbie collection. Here.
Oh,
These cards, you know, there's a chance that
That might actually. I don't know. I
might
don't
be
know.
worth something. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, because I remember it. Because girls weren't as like they weren't collecting as much as like boys were.
But the Barbies are as bad as everything else because we priced out some of these Barbie cards Barbies, I'm sorry, that my sister had, and some of them they paid in $1994, $53, $60 for. These were collectors, like
Or were they like the holiday Barbies?
all kinds of holiday. Yeah,
The gowns.
There's still that much for stuff.
they're
like
worth
that.
$10 today.
Yeah, they're worth nothing because everybody bought them.
Everybody.
The best example I can think of when people got fucked with collectibles was Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies was the worst.
Tie Beanie
Yeah.
Babies, and everyone lost their mind. Chris will remember the best show ever on. There's some infomercial dude, and he was way overexcited about it. Like, woo, it's whooping time! Got the best set from, got the Christmas bear, and he would lose his shit like he was giving you the best deal.
It was like a
It was
infomercial.
like a 45-year-old guy, and he acted like he was a sports announcer, like so excited. Selling Beanie Babies, that's all they were doing.
Wow.
Like shut down the phones. We got the set for you
I like
tonight.
that.
99
That's pretty cool.
holiday bear set, $700. Like, and people were buying it up.
So I mean, that's kind of like we could talk more about the cards.
There's hundreds. There's
Oh,
thousands
there's
of cards.
too many
Yeah.
cards here, and
And not worth talking about.
there's no value to
They're
it.
not worth the cardboard they're printed on. No.
Yeah.
That's true.